So here are the frontline factors that contribute to failure in bonds. I'm about to share with you most of the top secret in bonding in shoemaking. If after sharing these tips with you and you continue to have issue with bonding, then we have to go spiritual. I'm just joking. We are not going to go spiritual because there is no connection between adhesives, bonding, and spirituality. So let's dive into the factors that can contribute to failure in bonding aside adhesives or gums. Number one is material. The type of material used in making your sole or your insole or creating your insole and your sole will determine the type of gum that you're going to be using for the coupling. PU gum or chemical gum, like most of us call it, is meant for synthetic materials. That is for rubber soles, synthetic leathers, etc. Then if you're going to be using Mako or Eva, like most of us call it, Nora and the likes of them, then you're going to be using multi-purpose gum or adhesive. That is the yellow gum, like most of us call it. Though in some cases, the reverse might be the case. So, if you are going to be using Mako and Nora for your sole, it is quite advisable to use the multi-purpose gum and not the chemical gum. Then if you're going to be using a rubber sole and then you are folding your insole, you are going to be using the PU gum or the chemical gum. The moment you know the type of gum to use in every production, that is one of the key things you need to know if you want to succeed in achieving a very effective bonding. Number two is adhesive activation. You see, one of the problems that we have is that most times we don't know when the gum is ready to be bonded. Some of us, we wait below the expected time, or we wait even more than the expected time. So if we are able to know when to gum the two surfaces together, that is when the gum is ready for bonding, then that is one of the things we need to have in mind. If we master it, it will also help us to get that effective bonding result. So if you're not able to master that, I'm afraid failure in bonding might be standing just close to you. So now for the multi-purpose gum. Once you must have finished applying the gum or adhesive on the surfaces to be bonded, allow it for some minutes to activate. And how do you know that it has activated? Once you touch it with your finger, if it is no longer sticky, if it doesn't stick to your finger, just know that the surfaces are ready for bonding, which means the gum has activated. Then for PU gum or chemical gum, the same process. Apply the gum to the surfaces to be bonded. The chemical gum or the PU gum is heat activated. So once you have touched it and it is no longer sticky to your hand or to your finger, then it is time to activate it with heat. And then the next thing is that you are going to bond the two surfaces. Number three, make sure that the surfaces you're going to bond are rough. This is one of the biggest mistakes that most of us make. We don't care about the folded insole, that's the leftover leather under our insole. Most times we don't know that we have to roughen, remove the first layer of that leather. You have to remove that first layer either with your sandpaper, with your grinder, or even with razor blade, whichever is close to you as a beginner. Make sure you remove that first layer of the leather behind the insole, just like you are seeing on your screen right now. So you're going to see another clip where I'm going to show you what I mean by that. But before then, just understand what I'm saying. So you have to remove the first layer of that leather behind your folded insole. And then after lasting the pattern, you have to also remove the part of that pattern that is under the insole. Take note of most of these things that I'm sharing with you in this video because they are the basics. If you miss any of them, you are bound to have failure in bonding. So like I said before, make sure that the surfaces are very rough. If they are not rough, roughen it. If it is rubber sole, use your sandpaper to roughen it. Your insole has to be rough. You understand? Make sure there is no oil or water on the surfaces to be bonded. Take note of these things. They are very, very important. So that is number 3. Number 4, after coupling with your multi-purpose gum, do not use a metal hammer on the footwear. Rather use a mallet. Most of us, we use a metal hammer on the footwear. We hit it as if it is iron. No, it is not going to give you a good result. You are going to buy a mallet if you don't have one, and then use a mallet to give that pressure that you need. You understand? You hammer it with a mallet. Very important. Then, if it is a chemical gum that you used in coupling the footwear, that is, if you used a synthetic material, or maybe you used a chemical gum, you don't have to hammer it. What you need to do is to compress it. I have taught that in one of my videos. You don't have to hit a chemical gum. You don't have to, when you want to apply pressure for the bonding to, come together properly. You don't hammer it. You compress it. That is why you have a pressing machine for coupling. But since some of us don't have that, you just need to use your last to compress it by the sides. You understand? Center, by the side. You do it round. With that, the bonding will come together properly. But if you hammer it instead of the bonding, because once you're hammering it, the hammer is bouncing, and chemical gum, somehow there's a way it bonds. So once you hit it hammer, and the material you used, maybe it is a synthetic material, you hit it, it will bounce back inside within the bonding. So instead of bonding, you are separating the bonding inside. So you need to compress it, because as you are compressing it, it is cooling down. Remember that it is heat activated. So once you are compressing it, it is cooling down, and then the bonding is becoming more tight and effective. And another one is the material used as insoles. You see, I'm going to make another video on that because I need to make a detailed explanation on that. It is going to take a lot of time, so I'm not going to include it in this video. So if you have a question from what we have learned so far, you can drop them in the comment section. So don't forget to subscribe if you have not, and also hit the bell icon to get update, because the next video will be coming very soon. And also, if you have not watched the first video on how to know a good quality gum or adhesive, watch this video here for more information. Have a nice day, and see you in my next video.